What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rhino Review Stuff. I'm Rhino, and I review stuff. And the stuff I've got to review today is a fancy little MP4 player from AGPTek. It's the T06S. So it comes in some pretty normal packaging here. Looks like we got a little 6 there. I think that might stand for the T06S. Up on the top, we got our device. I'm going to set this off to the side for now. See what we got underneath. We got some wired headphones here. Looks like they're pretty standard plastic earbuds. We do have some extra tips. And I can see there is a microphone on the line in. We will be testing that out. And I would have loved to have tested this functionality out. However, the microphone built into these earbuds did not work. Next up is something you just don't see that often. It is a TPU case for the MP3 player itself, and I see there's a little notch cut out here. Foreshadowing. Got a pretty standard USB-C cable here. Also comes with a plastic screen protector. Last thing out of the box, we've got a user manual. So let's take a look at the actual device. It is pretty nice looking. Got a nice looking glass screen here. Got 3 buttons here on the side, volume up, volume down, and power. On the bottom, we've got our line out / headphone out. We've also got an SD card slot. This does not come pre-populated. You will need your own SD card. However, there is 16 gigabytes built in. We've got our USB-C charging port, and we've got a speaker, an internal speaker. I got it right that time. This side of the unit, we've got nothing, and up at the top, we got nothing. On the back, you can see it's got a camera. Now, it's not a great camera, but a camera it be. And there we go. Startup takes about 30 seconds. It's not the fastest, but it's also definitely not the slowest. You can see here it is running Android. This is actually running Android 8.1, I believe, 8.01, something like that. We can check that out shortly. You can see there is some artifacting here when I'm recording through my camera. Just some of these screens, that's how they do. Viewing angle on here is not that great, but it is okay. It is acceptable for what it is. You're probably not going to be looking at it from the side anyways. So you can see here it does have Spotify, it's got Bluetooth, and it does have Wi-Fi. I am currently connected to the Wi-Fi in my house. It also comes preloaded with the Google Play Store, which is stinking awesome. However, it does take a little while to get things downloading and get things going. I have installed a lot of different apps on here, but there was just so much that was incompatible because this is running Android 8.0. You can see here we do have the default camera app, and let me just lift that up, and I have taken several pictures here. Let's take a peek. Oh yeah, there's me. There's the desk behind me. Now, the pictures are not the best. Nowhere in the manual does it specify what the megapixel rate is here, but I'm assuming it's probably 2, maybe 3. It's not great, but then again, you're probably not going to be using this to take a bunch of pictures. At the end of the video, I am going to show you pictures up full screen, and I will show you some video that I've already recorded as well. Speaking of video, you do have a video player. Let's see here. I've got 2 videos preloaded on here. I've got my channel intro. Let's turn it sideways, shall we? And so yes, it actually does play videos. Plays several different formats. This also comes pre-installed with KM Player, so you can choose some additional formats there. Let's go back to the main screen real quick. And notice, the touch is a little bit slow.
Statue rapidly. Flesh and blood. my hand as I insert this needle.
Video playback actually works really, really well. I'm very impressed with that. Of course, it does come pre-installed with the default Android music playing app. Let's just play some of that now. And I got to give this thing props. Its little internal speaker is super loud. Very, very impressed with that. And of course, Spotify works as well. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on to my Bluetooth so we can check that out. And we are connected. It gets pretty loud. So I have noticed that this does not seem to have the issue that other Android devices have. It seems that AGPTek has totally stripped that functionality of protecting your ears, and it's just gone straight to, let's play it as loud as we can, and it is okay with us. And honestly, that's pretty cool. It can also play super loud in the car. See, here's a few more of the pre-installed apps. We do have YouTube, we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. There's the KM player. I am not a big fan of that on here. I will probably be installing something else. That thing out of the way. Let's check out YouTube playback real quick. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rhino Review Stuff. I'm Rhino and I review stuff. And this is
MDJ2K13
and
MDJ2K7.
And today we went to the Southwest Vintage Toy Show down in Chickasha, Oklahoma, and we have a huge haul that, and you could see there, lots of missed finger presses. I don't know why. The screen is very unresponsive. So what are you getting for the money here? You're getting a device with Android 8 on it. Not bad. You've got 2 gigs of RAM. Again, not bad. You've got 16 gigabytes of storage built into it. Not bad at all. It is expandable through the SD slot. Perfect. Absolutely great. You can load a whole bunch of movies on here, and it's going to be awesome. You got a camera, so if you really got to get that TikTok going on, you got a camera to do it with. That's also really cool. I don't care that the camera quality is not up to snuff with an iPhone 13. It's a camera on an MP3 player, and that's pretty stinking awesome. You got Wi-Fi on here, you got Bluetooth 4.0, lots of different connectivity options here. The headphone output, because the sound quality thing is disabled, you can get some really good volume out of this. Speaking of sound quality, these earbuds, you might as well just toss them in the trash. They are very tinny, they have a lot of hiss to them. It's very strange. Also, I could not get the line-in microphone to work here. Inline microphone, however you want to say it. Yeah, just chunk these. It would have been better off if they had thrown these away and maybe given us a better screen protector. I don't know. But when connected through regular earbuds or listening to them through my Audiotech headset there, it sounds great. There's no problem with the audio quality. You can play MP3s, FLAC, OGG, all the different formats. You can install different apps on there to play as many different formats as they can handle, and that's awesome. On the video side, you got MP4, you got MKV, you got AVI, you got WMV, you got all the formats, and you can install other apps in case there's some that you're missing, so that's really awesome too. The screen on here in person looks really nice. Like I said, the viewing angles aren't that great, but in person, it's great. I mean, you're not going to be viewing a movie looking at it like that. You're going to be holding it like this. And yes, I actually do think this would be really cool to watch movies on. This right here, it's definitely a media consumption device. YouTube works great. Asphalt Nitro, it actually worked really well. I think I was getting probably 20 frames per second. That's a lot better than I expected because, you know, the processor in here is only 1.5 gigahertz. Minecraft, it ran like a top. I had zero issues with that at all. I wish I could get some video of that, but somehow or another, Android, for some reason, put me back on the beta, and the current beta locks up at the loading screen. So it gets to the create new world, and then it starts playing me a little demo of how to use the control scheme on here. So I can't get any further than that. However, before it bumped me into the beta, I was actually playing Minecraft, and I really wish I had the camera on at that time. It does play games. It's not going to play the newest AAA Android titles. However, it's going to play things that came out around the time Android 8 came out. So I think you're pretty good with that. But like I said, this thing does have its flaws. It is not the fastest device in the world. Yes, it plays games, but it's not very fast. And like I said, you can't play the most modern games. The safety feature with the audio being cut out, that kind of worries me. It is nice because, yeah, you can get really loud in the car. You can get really loud through your headphones, top notch. But what if you were giving this to a kid and they don't know about that and they are going to burst their eardrums the first time they turn something on? Because by default, seems like every song I try to play, it pumps up the volume all the way up to the top. And I'm not sure if that's something that's been cooked into this version of Android, that they have custom made for this or not. But I cannot figure out a way to get it to work without bumping the volume all the way up. Another thing, and this is probably the biggest thing for me, the touchscreen on here is very, very unsensitive, very insensitive. You gotta press it a lot. I mean, sometimes 2 or 3 times to get the button to press, and sometimes, I don't know, I feel like I've got to warm my fingers up so they're a little bit rubbery or something, so I can get a good press going on. It's kind of weird. I was not expecting in a modern device to have that difficulty with a touchscreen. It's almost like, I guess I can relate it to the Pan Digital novel that came out like 12 years ago, 13 years ago. That thing was wild, but it didn't have a capacitive screen. It had the other type of screen where you actually had to press an active something screen. That's almost what this feels like. This feels like really old screen technology. I have never had a device where I just have to keep pressing the button over and over. I will not use this as my personal MP3 player. There, I said it. This is going to be the very first time where I have said I am not a personal fan of something that has been sent to me. However, if you are giving this to a kid to keep them occupied in the car on road trips, to keep them occupied at the daycare, or even to use for calculator at school, and plus they've got a little games or something going on, I think this would actually be really cool. For an adult, not so much. For a kid between the ages of maybe 7 and 13, who doesn't have an actual cell phone, this right here is a pretty darn good idea. This thing works really well for all of those purposes kids are going to be wanting to use it for. You got the games on here. You've got apps that you can install on here. You've got TikTok and the YouTubes, and you got all of the good stuff that kids are mainly looking for. You can load this thing down with as many movies as you want, and it plays all of them really well. Even MKV format, and there's a lot of players that have an issue with that. So it's been optimized in a lot of ways to be a very good media player. And I really appreciate that. However, because I am so used to just tapping on things, or sometimes it feels like I'm barely even hovering over something, and it presses a button, and you can't do that on this. That's why I don't like this for me. For a grown-up, I don't like this. I love the camera on here. I don't care that it is not the most high-quality camera. Kids are not going to care. A kid is literally going to walk around and take a picture of everything that's around them. This is a perfect children's device. If you are a parent or a grandparent and you want to get a gift for your grandkids or your children for Christmas, this is a pretty darn good one. This beats out the Amazon Kindle tablet things. This right here is really cool. So if you are interested in picking this up, I will leave a link down there in the description. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I will see you all later. Bye! What's going on, guys? This is Rhino Bones, and I am talking to the little camera here on this AGPTek T06S. This is the video quality and the audio quality when you are holding it in your hand and talking directly at that little camera.